part of this series we looked at the ratio test for sequences, and there is an equivalent ratio test for series. Very similar. So if we have a sequence, so AK is a sequence defined for values of k greater than or equal to p, so that's a sequence, so be it a sequence such that none of the AK, so none of the individual values in the sequence are equal to 0, and that makes sense. We're using a ratio here, so if we have AK equal to 0 for any of them, that messes up the test because you can't divide by 0 for all k, and such that the limit as k tends to infinity of the modulus of AK plus 1 over AK is equal to L. So this is the setup for the test, and then so if we found that this limit exists, L, then we can consider some things about this limit. Then, well, it's about the series then from the limit. So then the series from k equals p up to infinity of the AKs, either it diverges if L is greater than 1, okay? And if you think about that, that's because if L is greater than 1, that means AK plus 1 is greater than AK for all AK, so it means every single term in the sequence gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So you're adding up bigger and bigger and bigger numbers. Of course you diverge, but again that's not formal proof, just a rationale. Converges if L is less than 1, and part 3 concerns the only other case we haven't considered, and that's if L is equal to 1, and if L is equal to 1, then unfortunately you're going to have to try a new test because this test has failed. Okay, it's not a bad thing, it's just that doesn't give us any information. Okay, that's all that is. You tried it and it didn't work, so that begs the question, when should you try this? Well, I would consider trying it when you have some terms in a sequence defined with some factorial, or perhaps n to the power of k, some powers, because when you divide powers, let's look for example nk plus 1 over nk, well that's equal to nk over nk, okay, and these just cancel out and that's equal to n. So stuff like that, you get a lot of cancellation, so you can find these limits quite easily, and they often do turn out to be helpful in deciphering this. Okay, so I'd be sure to do that. Note that n here wouldn't be a variable, and if for a specific example we might have like 5 to the k or something like that. Okay, that's all we're going to look at for this ratio test. If you did want an example of how to use it, or you've got a question and you're wondering if you could use a ratio test for it, then be sure to submit that in the comments down below. If you've got any other questions on sequences and series, let me know, or anything else in general. For now, that's it for this video. If you did enjoy, please be sure to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one.